is Monday. I have my little blessings over here making lots of noise. So if you guys hear them, I'm sorry. It has been a busy morning already. I'm getting ready to set up. I wanted to show you how I set up for blended classrooms. I don't have any makeup or lipstick on this morning because I'm about to put my mask on, so I just left it off. So let me set this up, finish checking my emails, and I will show you what my setup looks like so that if you are having a blended classroom where you have some at home, some in the classroom, and you have some of the same equipment, you can try it out and see if it works for you. So let me flip you around. I have my desktop, my laptop, and my smartboard all connected. Well, my laptop is not connected, but you do have the capabilities to do that. My husband was trying to explain how I could do both. I think it's just with like something that you plug in the back. So I run my main Teams through here. It goes through my document camera. So this camera is constantly facing out so that the students at home can see the whole classroom and kind of be watching from like an outsider's point of view, the whole classroom. Everything I do on here through Teams, I share the screen because I'm sharing this screen and that is connected to my smartboard. What I'm sharing up there for my students out here, because I've got my camera, I'm using my document camera that's also through that, they see at home. So anything I share up here, so if I do a video or something and I share it up there, my students in my classroom can see it as well as my students at home. And it's all running through these speakers in our ceiling so they always hear me. The whole point of my laptop that I use through Teams is because I have my laptop follow me around so they kind of get a little closer look if I'm doing something. So like for example, where I would usually have all of my students on the carpet, meeting with me on the carpet, because I have 14 kids on my roster that are face-to-face. I can't have all of them on the carpet. Now I am considering when I want to do stories and stuff, I can bring this little fella, my 3 over here, and my 3 over here, which I need to move my desks back out. I have a set of twins that sit there, and then I have one that I pull out. But these guys can get a nice good view of whatever I'm doing up here, but the ones that are spread around the classroom, they don't. So they can sit on the carpet, and I'm thinking about putting sit spots. If we go down to 8 or 9 kids, then I will only have 3 here, 3 there, and then like 2 over here, 1 here, and 2 over there, right? No, that's still too many. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I probably won't use this desk configuration over here, or I won't use this little guy here. That's my son's backpack. So this setup follows me around. I would just take my laptop around with me. It's muted, so there's no sound coming through this one for them, so they're not getting feedback. And I have this one mute, the actual laptop on mute too, so I'm not getting feedback into this laptop. So it's just the camera that's running. This is the one that I do everything off of. I hope that makes sense. And our document camera also serves as the camera for the classroom. So this is for close-ups and for when I need them to see me up close. This just follows us around the room. I teach like normal. My students at home know, see my little angels over there? They're in a great mood this morning. They're arguing so much. Oh, and let me show you this too. So this is what I did this weekend. I went and got these shelves from Target. They were $25 each. I got the last 2, so I was glad I went. These little bookcase, scrapbook casings came from Michael's. They are on sale. They were currently $5, and then with your teacher discount, I think I got them for like $4.70 something, somewhere around there, $4.20 something, I can't remember. So $4 for each is not bad. I found these at the Target dollar spot. They are being discontinued, so they were the last 4 that I found. And they gave them to me for $1 instead of $3 because they were being clearance down. So all in all, I spent less than $100 to get my students out of those things, which is something that we're gonna have to do, and get them into these. I will create little name tags for these, for the front of these. I might just print print off their picture and put their picture on the front, but this will hold their notebooks, and workbook. If I keep the workbooks here, it will hold like all of their book stuff, not their reading books, but like their workbooks and stuff. This will hold their iPad, their headphones if they ever bring them, and they can either stack their school box on the top of this when they're done. Their school boxes will probably sit out, or they may be able to put their school box in that. I may have gone overboard, but I just feel like it's a little bit more organized. I've got to get a bin for these guys. I think my friend Jen said she has some extra bins that I could borrow until I could find some. So I'm going to go check with her, see if she has red, because she doesn't like the color red anyway. And maybe I can buy them from her. So that's my setup. I'd still teach like normal. Like I said, I'm still just doing everything like normal. And then what I did over the weekend on our Canvas is I created assignments for my students at home that they would do through Canvas that my ones here might do in paper. And I showed you my Plan With Me video. I'm sorry that was so long, but I wanted to make sure I tried to include some of the technological stuff, so it made it longer. So right now I'm pulling up, this is the names book. Why isn't it pulling up? Let me try that again, because it's Why Do We Need Our Names is the book. I may just scroll through and not worry about trying to make it into a Google slide. And then it's got, so we also have something called Smart Learning Suite. I'm not too familiar with it. I did play around with it this weekend. If I can figure it out really well, then, and if I do it with my students, I'll do a video on that. But that's not opening with Google Docs. I want it to open as a PowerPoint. I'm gonna download it. That's what I want to do. So we're gonna do that. Oops. Open with PowerPoint, I think. No. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with that because it didn't open right with the Google Doc. And then on this computer, I'll have the same things open. Let's see, launch. I'll have the same. Here we go. Sorry, I didn't realize I had that pointed down. And then our phonics stuff. So I'll have this open just so I can make sure I'm covering all the bases. And this also has the vocabulary on it, so I'll need to have that open as well. This is not opening up. File. Maybe if I doesn't want to open up, I probably have to download it onto my computer in order, because it's opening up as a PDF and I don't want that. It's all right. So that's the book that we're doing today. The Do We Need Our Name? And we're doing the questioning, and I'm not going to mess with trying to do an anchor chart. I think this is the anchor chart for it. Say my name, why are our names important, and having them give us reasons why our names are important. I think we're just going to have a discussion today because that's a lot to print and go through. This is tomorrow's anchor chart, and I'm not going to show you the rest because, again, I bought them, and I feel like if I'm sharing them, then you're getting the information without buying them. So that's what we're doing. And then we're also doing our DSA, and if we have time, we're doing Mr. Thorne. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up YouTube. I'll pull up Mr. Thorne on YouTube. Mr. Thorne, short A, and then that way you can see what Mr. Thorne is. That's Geraldine. You can just go to YouTube. You should definitely subscribe to him because he is so funny. And the kids
sometimes
love
getting closer to each other means getting farther away from
love
your
that.
routine.
Hey, let us shake.
That's Mr.
And here
Thorne.
it is to my side. And here it is as a capital letter. The A makes the...
So if we have time, we will do this one. And we are doing just beginning our... I showed you this. This is in my Plan With Me video. We're going to do our DSA, Mr. Thorne. Oh, let me show you the DSA real quick before I finish setting up. So, our DSA, basically you have a list of words. Get all of my papers out for today. You have a list of words that you give. They follow a spelling pattern. It's like their understanding of the way sounds are put together. So the first one is letter name, which is all about beginning blends, short vowels, and some digraphs. And then you give them the word, and then they get a certain number. It's really hard. It's complicated. I'll try to link the research in the description if I remember by Friday, or I don't know when this video is going to go out. But that's Kathy Gansky, Developmental Spelling Analysis. I have all of her books in my closet. And I did want to show you my other... Sorry, you're going to hear my fan for a minute. It was really warm when we came in here. So she does word sorts and more. And then she's got all of it, and I think they're in my drawer because I use them so often. All of the words their way, she does those. And then the other book that I wanted to show you for text talks. My text talks book is up here. Bringing Words to Life. Now this is the original. I think I linked the newer version. I just have all my books shoved in here. Bringing Words to Life. Isabel Beck. And after like you get through like all of the information on this book, because it's so fantastic, it gives you a list of books. So for example, for first grade, a list of books that you can do. I just went through some of these. This was a long time ago, but I went through some of these and kind of correlated them to the time of year. And that was the book that I did on Thursday. And it gives you the words, the tier 2 words that would be really good for your students. And there's a whole bunch of them. That's kindergarten on that side. There's like 3 pages of first grade. So it gives you a whole bunch of words. Second grade. So it's really good. If you just need some to get more vocabulary into your students. If you are an already state, you know that we already have, a dropping stuff. Let me flip you guys around. If you are an iReady state, you know that we have lots of vocabulary that we have to teach them because that's highly tested. If you do iReady, but I don't know where my other book is. So Word Source and More, and then I think my other book is in my drawer. When I moved classrooms, y'all, I'm just like all over the place now. I'm just all over the place. So it is getting to be almost time for my students to come in. So I'm going to get off the phone and I'm going to get set up for the day and clean up my room because my boys are in here making messes. And I will probably check in with you either at the end of the day. I don't know if I will have time during our break times because I have so much on my plate today. But I will check in with you at the end of the day. And I will try to video if I can. It's lunchtime and I am trying to eat a little bit before I have stuff to do. So this morning was a huge wake-up call as far as where my students are. I did DSA my kiddos this morning. We didn't get to anything else with our phonics other than DSA, and it's going to be a slow go. They are low babies. I have some that are still like scribble writing. So we're going to start with short A, most definitely. I have 2 that are doing at-home learning, and I think 3 I'm going to try to meet with one of my other little guys. And they are fairly high, so that works out because I can assign them during phonics time. I can teach this group, and then I can say, okay guys, now after we're done with our Haggerty, go into your thing, and I can assign them assignments on Canvas that are only for them to see, because you can do specific students. So that's my plan with that. I'm still gonna, we only did 10 out of the 25 DSA words because they were almost in tears when we were doing it. So I stopped it. I will DSA them again after Christmas time and see what they have gained and see where we need to go next. But we're just gonna start with short vowels. We're gonna do at and ag, I think, this week, and then an and app. I think next week, just to break it up. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm going to go back and look at my words their way, because the thing about the AN is that it's a nasal, and is a nasal, so it almost changes the sound of A. Or not done almost. It changes the sound of A. So whenever you say like fan, man, pan, when they're sounding it out, it doesn't, because of the nasal. It doesn't work out the same. So I'm going to go back and look at my info and see what would work best. I know we're going to do AT this week and probably ag. And then we'll just see where we need to go from there and how they're doing. So that's that. Their writing this morning was it was a struggle bus. My kids, when we were doing online learning, they were doing so good in writing. They were, and they're still doing it. They would draw a picture. We spent a long time on a picture plan and talking out. I did have one little guy that would get very upset during writing time. He hates writing, so we'd get upset every single day. So, but he left for a doctor's appointment today and hasn't come back. So, writing was, and we were doing some just simple stuff today. Hold on one second. You know, it's been a day when your hair's frizzy. It has been storming all day, and so my hair has decided to show me. So guys, it's the end of the day. This afternoon was a big fat fail. Math. I had technology issues. I couldn't get my my little Elmo camera running correctly. I don't know what it was doing. And then the math interactive notebooks I was so excited about, my kids couldn't get signed into it. It was giving them an error message. Sorry, I'm eating a candy cane. Because after you wear this all day, you realize how bad your breath is, right? So, the interactive notebooks did not work. So, for right now, I'm just going to give them activities like normal, like I normally would do. And I will do a video on how that works and show you guys how to set that up. I'll try to do that tomorrow. Science was a fail because the math notebooks wouldn't work. The science notebooks also wouldn't work. So I'm just going to abandon that idea. I don't know what I'm going to do for my students at home. I guess I could still maybe make the notebook work at home. And then my students here just do a real actual notebook. But my son wants to be in the video. But I don't know. I was very frustrated. Our students were supposed to get snacks and supper for the week. That didn't go out, so I have to send messages out about that. We're supposed to be out of here by 4. It is 3:58. I'm still not packed up. I'm just tired. It was definitely a Monday. I'm going to have a new class list again tomorrow. So, y'all, I hope your week is going fantastic. And I will just check in with you tomorrow morning. If I do anything tonight at home, I will definitely share it with you. I think I'm going to have to revamp some of my math plans and definitely some of my science plans. So I may see you guys in a little bit, but otherwise I will see you tomorrow. Hi guys. So it's about 9 o'clock and I was just sitting down, going through my lesson plans and painstakingly trying to figure out how to make my digital classroom and my live classroom mesh seamlessly. And I was going through some of my old activity pages. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm trying to be quiet. I was going through some of my old activity pages and worksheets and things from math specifically to see what I could do for my online students. And I think I've just come to the realization that for every one page that I do with my students in my classroom, I'll have 2 to 3 pages online. Same type of thing from time to time, but there's just going to be times when my kids in my classroom are cutting things out and gluing them down in a journal, and my things at home are doing something similar, but where they're just filling in or responding in some way, and which it would take them a lot less time, more than likely. So maybe 2 pages at first, and I can see how far they get. But I just don't feel like my students in class, they need so much more. These kids still need cutting practice and gluing practice. And if I'm not doing any of those activities, I know that a good majority of my students aren't going to get that at home. And I just don't feel right about not giving them the practice cutting and gluing. I know my students at home, 4 of them, parents are teachers or they're in the education system. So I feel like I can send those things home with them and have them do them at home, but not always. So I'm just trying to revamp some of my lessons that I showed you guys and go over some things. I was printing off some things, and since I did the Plan With Me video, I wanted to include updates, because I feel like as teachers, we're always updating and changing what we're doing based on what works. And with the technology being so frustrating, I just don't want to battle that all year. I'm gonna get emotional. I don't wanna battle that all year. My students at home are not having as big of a problem as when they're on campus. So I think some things are working technology-wise, and then some things just aren't. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to stop and have 6 babies at home that have gotten the hang of all this, and then 15 babies in the classroom that I have to walk around and type all their information in. And then my 6 babies at home are waiting on me to do something while I walk around. And that takes 15, 20 minutes to walk around and enter everything in. I've asked guardians and parents to put in the information into Google, but they really don't understand what I'm talking about. So it's just, it didn't work today. My interactive notebook didn't work today. And I don't know if it's just because they haven't been signed in enough. I don't know if anything I would put on would work. But I think my plan is I'm going to go pick up notebooks tomorrow morning. We have a whole bunch down in our storage rooms. So I think I'm gonna go get 10 notebooks tomorrow morning for math interactive notebooks, and I'm going to do math interactive notebooks. So I wanted to show you what I was thinking, what I'm going to do, and the changes that were gonna be made before I ended this video for the day. So let me flip you around so I can show you that. And I will go ahead and probably say that I think that this video will get posted Tuesday, Wednesday maybe at the latest. We were thinking about trying to hit up Hollywood Studios on Wednesday, but we are going to Magic this weekend, I think. So I don't know if I'll mess with trying to get out of school and do that. So here's my lesson plan that I showed you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and move a few things around because I need to, our morning time is taking us so long because of the technology issues. I'm not having time to get to my social studies lessons or my health lessons. I'm gonna try to get that in on Wednesday. So I'm going to move this little sticker that I put, I'm just gonna move that up. The health lesson that we're doing, I'm gonna move that to Wednesday and hopefully get to it. It is it's like a story all about me, and then it is where they share, they get cards and they have to share like different things. So it's actually lesson 1, not lesson 2. It's still part of lesson 1 from last week. So, and I'm gonna have a new class on Wednesday. So I think that would be a good thing to wait and do. So I'm just gonna write in all about me. I'm gonna fix that. Okay, so here's my problem. My book for math will be fine. I'll read that book. The problem I'm having with it and what I may have to do for my books is I may have to like pre-record some, tell my students at home to go in and read it separately from what I'm reading in class. That way they can get the books bigger. I don't know, or try to find them on YouTube, but I'm not gonna worry about it this week. Space Shapes is the book. I think that's the name of it. It's a Stuart J. Murphy book. We're gonna do Tunstall's game, her 3D game. And then my students in class are going to do a 2D, 3D sort where they're cutting and gluing. And I'm not gonna worry about putting those in notebooks yet. That's not gonna start yet. My students at home, I've got to create a game for this. So I think I'm going to like write with one color for face-to-face kids. Now, not all of my lessons will be this way, but there's just some things that I think instead of me trying to adapt it for online learning, I'm going to kind of double up the online learning, maybe give the kiddos an extra page while we're working on cutting and gluing activities. There's a lot of sorting activities that I can make online. I can do a lot with Google Slides where they have to move it back and forth. It's just a matter of, do I want to spend all weekend? I mean, you guys know how it is. We have so much on our plates, and I have to start documenting data. We got an email from a principal that our observations are going to start soon. We have testing starting this week. I just want to, and the more I try to make it fancy and advanced for these kids online, the more I see that they're not ready. So my kids in class are going to do a 2D, 3D sort. I'm going to make it, let's make it a completely different color altogether. Let's do red for at-home learning. My students at home, I'm going to have, I found a couple pages in some of my kits. Where are they? Let's see. This one I can do easily. I can put that in, but that's just that's the color by sides. So I think in my folder, which I have at school, I have the 3D version of this, but I have to find it. I'm gonna try to put this book on Nearpod, but that's not gonna happen until Wednesday. So I can't do that just yet because it's gonna take me time to cut and paste it. And my scanner at home, my printer at home doesn't scan. So that's a bummer. But I found a couple, where's my other ones? A couple pages that I want them to do. I mean, I know that you guys feel my pain here. I'm so frustrated by the fact that there's just all these wonderful things, these activities that I have for my students. And I don't know where that is. And look, I have all these games. I did print all these games off. I'll try to put a link to them in this video if I can find it. I'm going to laminate them, and these are going to be some of their center games that we're going to start next week. So I wanted to get a head start on all that. But I have all these great math pages, these journals, and all this interactive stuff that they need to glue down. So my students at home, I'm going to give some 3D pages. And so when my students at school, when I say, okay guys, and I give them instructions, when we finish the game together, I'll just say to my friends at home, okay friends, I need my friends online to go into your Canvas and pull up your assignment for Tuesday and do your 2 assignments for Tuesday. And then these guys will do their sort in the classroom. And like I said, I don't feel like that would be all the time, but it's definitely going to be something that I have to just plan for. So I didn't feel right about making these changes. Also, their poetry notebook. So my students at home will have the interactive poetry folders because they've been working, and I can just add a poem. Like this week, I'm gonna do this poem. It was in one of my books. I don't even know the name of the book anymore. What's it say down there? This is not something I can find for you online. It's the Great Big Book of Thematic Poetry. It's from Scholastic. But it has, like I said before, I just tore out the pages and put them within where I would use them, like what month. So it says, I'm special, you are special. I'm gonna scan that in the morning and put that on their Google Drive. We're not gonna do that until Wednesday because I'll have a new group of kiddos on Wednesday. We were supposed to get our new kids tomorrow and our principal just sent us an email saying it's going to happen Wednesday. So, and we'll see. We'll see. Nothing seems to be consistent, so I guess we'll see. And then the name jar book, guys, it takes so long to read that book. I timed myself just now and it was 18 minutes for me to read it. And if I only have a 20 to 25 minute block of time, I'm just not going to get through it all. So we're going to read it tomorrow. We're going to do the activities and everything tomorrow for it. On Wednesday, I think we're going to read Chrysanthemum because I adore that story. And we're going to talk about our names, and we're going to talk about how many syllables are in our names. We'll retell the story. We'll do that sort of thing. And then I have a really great text talk. I don't know if I will go ahead and use the one from the name jar or if I will use my original text talk for Chrysanthemum. And then Friday, we'll do some kind of culminating activity with our names, something fun, which gives me time to plan something fun for my online kids. Because now I'm going to go from 14 face-to-face and 6 online to, I think, 7 online and 10 face-to-face kiddos. So those are some of the changes that I've been making. I forgot to put in what I'm doing for sight words each day. So today we just read them and we did the songs for them, and the songs bombed because, again, my technology didn't record. Tomorrow we will do, let me switch back to my color. Tomorrow we will do, we'll put them in our sight word book. And we'll probably do the songs again because it messed up today and I had to re-record them. And then Wednesday, since I'll have a new group of kids, we may do the songs again, or we may do like basketball sight words or something. Thursday, I'll give them some activity pages. So some practice pages. And then Friday, I will probably call them over and see if they know them at my table. So I'll do like a sight word quick quiz. I usually do that on Thursday, like a quick quiz on Thursday, see if they know them. That way I still know on Friday who needs to keep practicing them. But I don't feel like that's fair with the craziness of these weeks. So science, we're supposed to start matter at the end of the week, and I think I'm going to do some fun 5 senses stuff because we're supposed to do a district science assessment. We're supposed to do it together tomorrow, which we probably still will, but then I think on Thursday we'll do, I have to find some, but in the past I've done like sink floats or like texture where they have to put their hand in a box, but we can't do that. We could do the sink float and they could just observe, but I don't like them to do that. I might be able to do like sink floats at like their table groupings, even though some of them aren't in a group. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna do some 5 senses experiments, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in because they struggled with the 5 senses today. Maybe we'll read some books about our 5 senses. I'm gonna put like a thing around it so I can see that I need to figure that out. I mean, I could come up with something at the last minute and probably be okay on that, but I want to. I know I was supposed to do a 5 senses experiment here. I don't know, y'all. This just is so confusing with all this. So that's my plan. I've got my big stack of stuff to do. I left a whole pile of stuff here today and I was so mad. Let me flip you back around. Sign them boom cards as an extra activity online, but I'm trying to reserve that for like math centers or literacy centers, that they do those boom cards as like a card or game, you know, that they would do. Plus, Boom has been like messing up with their passwords here lately, so my students have had nonstop problems with that. I'm gonna X out of that. So I've got to figure something out for my students at home for 3D for math. And I'm pretty sure I have a few pages that I can scan in and just put in Google Drive. And then that can be their assignment. And then my other ones I've got, I don't know where my sort is. I've lost that too. It's like I took some stuff to school and then I left other stuff here. It's so strange. Like all these games and stuff that I printed, I left here. Y'all, oh my gosh, you see my messy, this is stuff from school. This is my sunroom. This is stuff from school. Isn't it crazy that all that stuff would be at school? That's my tent that hangs from the ceiling. That's my couch. That's my couch cushions. Gosh. Okay, friends. So, I'm sorry this is kind of so stinky. I wanted to show you stuff, but I can't find stuff. Oh, I did want to show you. This is what we're going to do on Thursday. I have this precious little What is a Scientist guy. Maybe we'll do this on Friday. And Thursday we'll do some science experiments. But I have this precious What is a Scientist guy. This is this little head. We'll trace it on construction paper of their color choice so they can choose their color. I copied the legs and arms and the shoes. I need to build a model. I copy those on just white paper so that they can cut it out and color it however they want. I fold their lab coat up, and then on the inside of their lab, so on the front of their lab coat, they're gonna write their name because they're a scientist and decorate it to be them. And then on the inside, we're gonna write down what a scientist is. So that's what we're gonna do. I know it's kind of artsy and cute and we're not supposed to do that kind of stuff anymore, but we're doing it. That's what I was doing. Okay, so let me put that on here. Let me put that on here before I forget because I will forget. Okay, so we're gonna do our 5 senses experiments. And I might have a Generation Genius activity that we can do. And then we're gonna do What is a Scientist Guide? I'm sure I'm gonna be wiped out on Friday. It's going to be a very long week. Okay. So that gives me all this week also to get all that stuff cut out. And I want to send my little guys at home, since I'm going to have new little guys at home, I want to send home all of their packets and their information. It makes me wish I didn't get rid of it all. So that's it. I'm going to record as well tomorrow, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye. Then you guys, so it's Tuesday. I revamped quite a few things yesterday, like late last night on my lesson plans. So I will talk to you guys about that. My little one wants to be on the camera. They think it's so cool mommy's on YouTube. Let me set you down. Woo. There we go. Okay, go away. Go play. So I revamped some things last night on, oh, these are foggy, on my lesson plans because I was struggling with what I was doing online versus in person. I wanted my students in person to do certain things that I can't send online because it would require the families to print them, and I can't. I know I have one family that has a printer at home, but the others do not. So other than getting pages to them, which I may consider doing long term, figuring out a way to get their pages to them, I don't know how I would make it to where they could do some of those same activities. So I think I was talking about on my online stuff, I'm going to make 2 pages for every 1 page in here this group does. I am getting a new group of kiddos tomorrow. So I think it'll be okay because we can kind of start at, minute 1, start fresh. This group of kiddos. Oh, my boys. Oh, my gosh. Please don't make a mess. Did you pick up the magnets? Thank you. So, I want to be able to do certain things to help them understand the concepts more. I'm trying to find resources that will do that. I think mostly it's just the concept of 3D shapes. That's just really tricky for the kids. We're using different pages and worksheets, but without me physically putting them in their hands and us going over the features and that sort of thing, I don't know. And you know what you've been thinking? No, you're not drawing on the board. So we're gonna go ahead and do our story elements chart like I had planned. And then tomorrow I think we're gonna start off fresh with something else since I'll have new kids anyway. We are going to go ahead and do our Mr. Thorn, making our anchor chart for short A, doing our sound spelling cards, and putting our some words on the sound wall and talking about our sound wall. We're going to do that in phonics today, so that'll take up quite a bit of time. So I don't want the book and the activity, the lesson itself, to run over. And then they will have PE again today, so they'll be still in here. It makes my heart sad that they can't go out to PE, y'all, right now, and they can't go out to recess, and they just can't take their mask down and you know, breathe some fresh air during that time, especially here in Florida, because just the surroundings where our school is so beautiful. It's hot. It's gonna be like 103 today, I think. We have no rain in our forecast for today, so we shall see. Writing today is working on their sight word books. We're gonna do the videos. I told you guys they messed up yesterday. So we're gonna do the videos. Sorry, I'm looking down at my plans. We're reading the story No David, and we're gonna talk about telling a story with our writing versus a bunch of random words and stuff. We're gonna actually talk about forming that sentence. I told you my kids are writers. I am going to finish getting set up. I do have to work this afternoon. Oh, let me show you this real quick before I spin you around and show you our other stuff. Look at this cute little tablet I found at Target in the dollar spot. And it actually came with 3. There's this one. There's like just a check sheet page. Where is it at? So it came with 3. For 3 for I think $3 or $2 or $1. I can't remember. There's the note page. There's like a remind me attendance page. And I thought this is great because I walk around with a clipboard and I greet my students and we talk about appropriate greetings for each other, looking each other in the eye, asking how our day is, just having those conversations. So I'm going to put this on a clipboard. Once I get my final list of students, I'm going to put them on there. And then this will help me keep track of their attendance before I put it into our system, because we do lots of different attendance awards. This I started using yesterday. I thought it was great. It's got today, this week, reminders, assignments, emails, and to prep. So it's essentially that little sheet. I may go back and get more of these that I've been printing off, but then I don't have to waste my ink and print it. So it's great. And then this one is just notes. And I don't know if I'll use this one much because I use my iPad for my notes from like meetings and stuff, so it's always with me. But these other two I'm pretty excited about. So Target Dollar Spot, they still have some stuff out, y'all. Ours is like turning fall stuff out now, getting all that out. And, oh, that reminds me, I need to do my data folders because we have to start pulling out data. So I gotta decide that, which can't do that until I get my new kids. Okay, so I'm gonna get the Stuart Murphy book out. I'm going to make a few copies for this afternoon and this morning. And I'm gonna make my anchor chart and I will show you guys what we're doing. Holy moly, it's hot today. Woo! 97, wow. Hi guys, so I'm sitting in my car because we got kicked out so they can clean. So let me tell you about my afternoon. I couldn't ever find the game that I wanted to play with them for math, so we didn't end up doing a game, but the slides that we did took a little while. I'm just about come to the realization that I can't teach them 3D shapes through the computer. There's no way for me to do that, and it's a very difficult class when they can't like physically hold the shape either. So we're moving on, and that's just going to chalk it up to COVID problems. So we're gonna move on to fractions. I will have a semi-new class tomorrow. We will have, we'll have 2 new students, but I'm losing 3. But my 2 new students that I'm getting are online, and I'm losing 3 in my classroom. So we'll still be at like a bigger number as far as kids, but most of them will be online, and then I'll have a little chunk in the classroom with me as well. So that'll be more helpful. I feel like I can spread them out and make my room flow a little bit better. It's just been a little difficult. I told you, with them all over the place, it just makes me feel antsy anytime they want to get up and roam and do this and that. And you know, it's all the unknown still about how it affects children. So I just try to be a little overly cautious with them. Science, we had to do like one of our district assessments today, and we were just doing it together and discussing it and talking about it. And it was one of those things that where you're like giving it to them and you're like, these questions don't make sense, and these questions, the way they phrase the multiple choice answers, they were just awful. So we just had a lot of really good discussion about what they were talking about and just tried to go through the whole process together. Tomorrow is an early day for us, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get this video up tonight. Tomorrow we're doing a new book, and